Good morning, everybody. Welcome back through installment of Scott's Selections here for Tuesday, January 23rd. For again, today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We had a loss in the NBA with Luke Kennard under 14.5 points at minus 120 on DraftKings. Looked good early as the line actually closed at 13.5. Kennard had no points in the entire first quarter, and then he exploded. He had 11 points in the second quarter, had I think 8 in the third quarter, and finished with 19. The real story with the handicap and why it went awry was based on the amount of shot attempts we thought Kennard would have. He'd been hovering around 10 in the last couple of meetings, so we thought he would probably finish somewhere around 10 in this game. That did not happen, as Kennard had basically 9 shots in the first half, finished with 18 shots, didn't really shoot the ball well, but with that much volume, he was going to go over, and he finished the game with 19 points. So big loss there. Look for a winner here on Tuesday. And for today's play today, going back to the NBA, we'll look at a matchup between the Knicks and the Nets, taking place at around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for this game, I'm going to take the Knicks on the road, minus 4.5 at minus 109 on Bet Rivers. Time recording of 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Covering why we're going to take the Knicks into this spot. First reason these teams are really heading opposite directions. The Knicks have won 9 of their last 11 games. Really, ever since the Anunoby trade, this team has been on fire, while the Nets have completely fallen off a cliff. The Nets have lost 10 of their last 12 games. We saw them have a great performance on Friday night against the Lakers, and they tried to parlay that into another good performance against the Clippers over the weekend, and they gave up a 22-0 run to end the game, as they ended up losing by double digits. So the Nets once again went back to being I don't want to say laughing stocks, but they kind of went back to being an underwhelming basketball team. And I think the Knicks should dominate this matchup based on the current form and based on just the overall talent disparity between the rosters. To go through the last 10 games, the Knicks have been really good in a lot of areas, while the Nets have been really bad in a lot of areas. For the last 10 games, the Knicks ranked 12th in offensive rating, while the Nets ranked 24th. The Knicks ranked first in defensive rating, the Nets ranked 12th, and the Knicks ranked first in rebounding rate, while the Nets ranked 20th. Now, rebounding might be a little bit of an issue for the Nets in general, but the Knicks might be without Hartenstein, so keep an eye out for that. Maybe Achua gets the start instead. We'll see what happens. But even if Hartenstein doesn't play, I do think the Knicks still have more talent, and that should result in a win. Of course, you'd rather have Hartenstein play in this game, but he's currently being listed as questionable. But to go through the last couple of meetings, the Nets originally owned the Knicks over the last couple of years. But that changed very quickly because the Knicks have dominated the last 3 games against the Nets. In fact, they've won each of them by at least 18 points. And they faced off one time this season. The Knicks won by 19. So once again, I do think the Nets, simply put, are really just ill-equipped to actually handle this Knicks team that actually got better with Anunoby joining the roster. But you have Brunson, who the Nets can't guard. Randall can give the Nets some issues. But simply put, the Nets have some offensive issues that they can't really address at the moment because they can't score. Bridges has been hot and cold. Johnson's okay. Cam Thomas, we know, is very good, but he's kind of alternating between starter and bench minutes. And it seems like Jacques Vaughn doesn't really trust him that much on defense, which is why his minutes are constantly in flux. But simply put, the Knicks are the better team. I think they'll look like it once again. 4.5 just seems a bit too low. Not to mention the fact that even though the game is in Brooklyn, it's got to be a home court advantage for the Knicks, right? I mean, you're talking about the state of New York. Most of the state are Knicks fans, and I'm assuming that the crowd will be 50-50 worst case scenario for the Knicks, probably a bit more than that in favor of the Knicks, probably like 60-40. But with basically home court advantage not existing for Brooklyn in this game, and based on the current form, I just think the Knicks are too talented, and I think this line is too short. Play there once again here for Tuesday, January 23rd is going to be on the Knicks, minus 4.5 at minus 109 on Bet Rivers. Bye, everyone.